In this film we're going to look at chain wear, how to measure it, the problems it can cause and how to prevent it. So there's a lot of misinformation about chain wear. You'll hear the term chain stretch used. Your chain is made of heat-treated steel, doesn't stretch, but it does get longer as you ride. The reason for that is that this chain has 114 links. So we've got 114 precision pivots. They can each be considered a bearing. You've got metal on metal wearing, and as the chain wears, the tolerance in each joint opens up a little bit. Any difference in tolerance is multiplied 114 times, so a chain as it wears becomes significantly longer. The problem with that, the effect it has on the bicycle, is that that elongated chain wears its new pitch, its new length, into the sprocket teeth and your chainring teeth, and that will cause, in the end, inefficient running. It'll cause primarily the chain to skip on the cassette cogs. The wear is accentuated in the gears that you ride in most commonly. So if you assess your riding, you'll probably find that you ride in 2 or 3 gears most of the time. That's where the wear comes, on those 2 or 3 teeth, 2 or 3 cogs that you use the most. So your cassette doesn't wear evenly. Some of the sprockets will remain in good condition, others will wear markedly, and those are the ones where you'll get the skipping and jumping if the chain becomes really worn. So we need to measure chain wear. It's not just a case of, or it shouldn't be a case of, waiting for the chain to completely wear out, to have slipping problems and ineffective gear changes. You should really keep on top of this. Prevention is better than cure. So we have devices where we can measure how much the chain is elongated. So we'll start off with the very simple one. This is a tool made by Wippermann in Germany to go with their Connex range of chains. And the way this works is it's a simple caliper. We drop it into the top run of the chain between 2 of the rollers and push it down. When this set of calipers ends up as a straight line, that tells us that the chain is elongated to the point where it should be changed. If we catch the chain before it's too worn, we can generally keep the cassette. If the chain wears more than about 1%, and I'll show you how we ascertain the percentage of wear in a moment, then we can generally keep the cassette. So we should really be changing the chain at 0.75% elongation, and then we know we're safe with the cassette. There shouldn't be any skipping and jumping. So this is a very simple tool. It really tells us whether the chain is good or worn out. Tells us the point at which we should change the chain, and these are quite inexpensive, but they're very simple. The better tool is the Park CC2, because this gives us a scale and tells us exactly how much the chain is worn. So the way this works, it's a cam with 2 pins, and as we scale through the movement of the cam, those pins move slightly further apart. So if we set the tool to 0, we drop it into the top of the chain between 2 of the rollers, and then we slide that quadrant across to open up the cam to push the pins apart, and then we can take a reading, and this chain is at about 0.5% elongation. So when we get to 0.75, that's where we need to change it in order to keep the cassette. If we go much more than that, we might find that a new chain won't mesh with the old worn cassette. So when chains are new, there should be exactly 1/2 inch between each pin. It's a 1/2 inch pitch chain. but that measurement will increase. And if you hang a brand new chain next to a worn one, you'll see a significant difference in length. So when a chain's completely worn out, it can actually be a couple of centimetres longer than a new one. So to prevent chain wear, we really need to keep the chain as clean as possible. If you let your chain get dirty, you're running the system in grinding paste. So regular cleaning of the chain is a good idea. And if you watch our other video on chain cleaning, we'll explain how to do it efficiently, cheaply, and easily.